Hello, my name is Nathan Bass, and this is the effect of water amount on the growth rate of bean plants. Abstract. This experiment tested how different amounts of water have an effect on the growth of bean plants. 5 cups were filled with the same amount of soil, and a single bean seed was planted in each cup. Each cup was watered daily with a specific amount of water: 0 milliliter, 10 milliliters, 20 milliliters, 30 milliliters, and 40 milliliters. Over a few weeks, the growth of each plant was measured and recorded. The plant watered with 10 milliliters of water grew slower and not as long as the other plants, so more than 10 milliliter of water is needed. The plants with 20 to 30 milliliters of water that were watered daily thrived the most, and the plant with 40 milliliters of water grew a little bit and at a very slow rate. My current knowledge, entering this experiment, I recognized that water along with sunlight is vital for plant growth. The amount of water a plant receives plays a crucial role in determining its development. While it is essential to provide sufficient water, it is equally important not to overwater, as excess water can lead to root suffocation and plant death. Overwatering diminishes oxygen levels in the soil, which can hinder root function. This experiment aims to identify the optimal water level for bean plants, a species commonly used in growth studies due to their rapid seed germination and low maintenance. Additionally, the presence of different nutrients in the water can influence plant growth. Establishing a proper watering regimen is crucial to promoting healthy plant growth as it minimizes stress on the plant. Knowledge known. I understand that water, along with sunlight, is a crucial factor in plant growth. The amount of water provided significantly impacts the plant's health and development. While plants need sufficient water for optimal growth, overwatering can be detrimental, leading to oxygen depletion in the soil and potentially suffocating the roots. This experiment will focus on determining the ideal water levels for bean plants, which are frequently used in growth studies due to their quick germination and ease of care. Additionally, various nutrients in the water can influence plant growth. A well maintained watering schedule is essential for reducing plant stress and ensuring healthy development. Some examples of other research are researchers studied how often different plants should be watered to achieve optimal growth. They found that plants watered too frequently had stunted growth due to oversaturation, while those watered infrequently experienced dehydration and reduced size. Some research explored how soil moisture affected the growth of bean plants. Being in soil with balanced moisture levels grew healthier and taller than those in overly dry or overly wet soil. Another one was a study looked at a common houseplant and the impact of excessive watering. The results showed that overwatering caused yellowing leaves and root rot, leading to plant decline. Hypothesis was bean plants watered with 20 to 30 milliliters of water each day will grow taller and healthier than plants that received 0 milliliters, 10, and 40 milliliters of water. Too little water will prevent proper sprouting, and too much water will harm the plants by oversaturating the soil. My predictions were if the hypothesis is supported, then the plants that receive 0 milliliters of water will show stunted growth or fail to sprout, as the lack of water prevented the proper nutrients needed to grow. Also, if the hypothesis is supported, if the bean plants were watered with 40 milliliters of water daily, then they will experience poor growth or root damage, as the excessive water will saturate the soil and reduce oxygen availability to the roots. If my hypothesis is not supported, then the plants being watered with 40 milliliters and or 0 milliliters of water will have the best growth and they will have the best results. My tested hypothesis was to test the hypothesis, 5 cups will be filled with the same amount of type of soil. A single bean seed was planted in each cup. Each cup will be watered daily, a different amount of water: 0, 10, 20, 30, and 40 milliliters. The cups were placed in the environment to ensure consistent sunlight and temperature. Over 3 weeks, the growth of each plant will be measured and recorded to determine how the amount of water affected the plant's growth. My materials and methods. So, for the materials, you have 5 identical plastic cups, identical potting soil, 5 identical bean seeds, measuring cup for precise water measurements. Obviously, you need water, ruler to measure the plant height, a notebook or piece of paper to record the results, and labels or markers to identify each cup. And the procedure is fill 5 identical cups with the same amount of soil, place the identical bean seed in each cup, label each cup with 10, 20, 30, and 40 milliliters, water each cup with proper amount of water daily, measure each plant every other day, and note the recorded measurement in the notebook. My treatments, so the treatments are 0, 10, 20, 30, and 40 milliliters. The end of independent variables are the amount of water given to each plant daily. The dependent variable is to the growth of bean plants measured by height and overall health. And the standardized variables are the type and amount of soil in each cup, type of bean seed used, and size and type of the cup. The control group is the data for 0 at 0 milliliters since no treatment or volume is applied. Any group that keeps a volume consistent at 0 milliliters over the different days. And here's a graph over all the results that I got over each cup and the volume. As you can see, day 21, obviously, that was when the highest amount of, or the highest length of each bean plant reached. And then the table explaining by each day. So day 1 I recorded all the way up till day 21, and these are the measurements that I gotten. And the results were 0 milliliters. The plant stayed at 0 centimeters because there was no water, and that confirms that water is essential for plant growth. For the 10 milliliters, the plant was growing slow and steady, but compared to other plants, it didn't grow as fast, proving that more than 10 milliliters of water daily is needed for proper growth. And then 20 milliliters, the plant grew at a steady pace and reached 11 centimeters by the end of week 3, showing that 20 milliliters daily is optimal for plant growth. Um, for 30 milliliters, the plant grew very similar to 20, which the plant reached 13 centimeters by the end of week 3, showing strong growth and optimal water amount daily for plant growth. And then 40 milliliters. This is the highest amount of milliliters out of all of them, and this plant grew at the beginning, but started to slow down after day 7 and reached 6.5 centimeters by the end of week 3, which was not as much as the other ones. And that means too much water can lead to reduced growth in plants. Conclusion: this experiment showed that the amount of water given to the bean plants affected how well they grew. The plants that got 20 to 30 milliliters of water daily had the best growth results, reaching 11 centimeters and 13 centimeters by the end of week 3. This shows that moderate amount of water helps the plant grow healthy and strong. The plant that had no water, 0 milliliters, didn't grow at all, and this shows how important water is for plant growth. The plant with 10 milliliters of water daily grew slower and not as long as some of the others, meaning that more than 10 milliliters of water a day is needed for proper seed growth. And then the plant with 40 milliliters grew a little at first, but then started to slow down after day 7. This shows that too much water can harm the plant and stop it from growing. So that means 20 to 30 milliliters of water is the best for healthy plant growth, while little to too much water can hurt the plants and stop growth. The results of this experiment supported my hypothesis. The bean seed was water with 20 to 30 milliliters of water daily, growing to the tallest and healthiest. 20 and 30 milliliters of water daily provided the right balance of moisture needed for the seed to sprout and grow steadily. The results from my experiment are consistent with findings from previous research. Studies showed that plant growth with optimal amount of water because it allows seeds to sprout and root to absorb nutrients effectively. Some past research showed that little to no water prevents proper sprouting, while overwatering leads to slower growth or harm to the plant due to the oxygen prevention in the roots. One of the biggest differences observed in this experiment is that plant receiving 10 milliliters of water still showed some kind of slow but steady growth, while some studies said that there will be no sprouting at all with minimum water. This could be possible because of the type of bean or the environment that the beans were growing in. The global impacts of my result highlight the importance of proper watering practice, which can have significant global impact on the agriculture and food production. Knowing the proper water needs of plants can help farmers grow healthier crops and reduce water waste. Knowing this information, these can be used at home and gardens and urban farming. And then three unanswered questions were: what would happen to these plants if the experiment went on longer than 3 weeks? Would the overwatered plant grow more than the 20 and 30 milliliter watered plants? The second one was: how would different types of seeds respond to the same watering routine? Could they act different? Do some seeds need less water for optimal, or more, or the exact same? And then the third one was: how do the quality of the water affect the plant growth in similar conditions? Different type of experiments based off my study. Some different experiments could be: how does water quality affect it? Some waters have more minerals or different nutrients in it. And environmental factors, some long-term growth. Does the soil type matter? Impacts of temperature. If you leave it in the sun, can some plants get sunburnt, or and then impacts of sunlight. And then here are my citations, and that's it. Thank you for watching.